What up, guys? It's Dylan and Nick, and
you have to redo that. I was looking at you weird.
What's up, guys? It's Dylan and Nick, and last weekend we bought this house. I was out of town before we submitted the offer. Nick was busy on appointment. I already saw this house after deposit was in. Nick still hasn't seen it yet, so this is gonna be his first time. We're gonna show you around, talk to you about what we're gonna do with the place. Come on in.
So one of the first things I noticed is that from the neighbors kind of look a little junkyardy. So I think what we should do is that the whole line of trees covers it for the most of the driveway, but starting that last tree, I feel like we should do like the full vinyl fence from that last tree all the way down for privacy, and that way you don't see like the junk.
That's a great idea.
Thanks, dog.
Obviously removing these and the outdoor shades. We're gonna whitewash the brick and paint the wood trim white, and we're also doing new windows.
Oh God, it smells disgusting.
This house was vacant for 3 years. Somebody died in it in 2018 or...
Dude, what the fuck? Someone died in here?
Multiple people died in here.
Are you fucking serious?
No, I'm fucking serious.
How?
Gunshot.
Are you fucking serious?
No.
Oh.
Natural causes. But 2 people did die in here. One in the early 2000s and one in 2018. Anyway, it was vacant for over 3 years. And during the time of vacancy, the roof had leaks and the rainwater got all the way down to the drywall in the ceiling. And as you can see, it's all moldy and sagging now. Oh my God, that's kind of badass.
That is pretty bad, right? Oh shit.
So we're gonna get rid of this fireplace. We're gonna get rid of this cupboard and where the refrigerator was and the wall behind it. And we're gonna get rid of this attached L piece of the countertop and obviously get rid of the upper cabinets here and make it super open concept with the fridge on the back wall and a big island here. And we can go further out with the island this way because this wall is not gonna be here anymore. We're doing new windows throughout, new sliding doors throughout, and it's really weird how they did this back here for a dog run, we think, with the chain link fence and the cinder block and the culvert pipe in the back behind it. So we're gonna take out the chain link fence, take out this cinder block, and then scrape the lot flat, push the slope back more so that we have grass back here and actually a real backyard, not just a weird little patio. But we probably have to invest in landscaping for privacy from these houses because they look like shit. It's also completely rotted. You see all that? It's gross. 9 feet, 5'9". All right, so I'll show you how I measured just the kitchen. All right, so the back kitchen wall is 154, and then the side was 60 inches, 48-inch window, and then another 48 inches. All right, well, that's enough for me to remember. So this is what I have to work with and submit to the kitchen design people. 154-inch back wall, 60 inches from the back wall to the beginning of the window over the sink. The width of the window is 48 inches, and then there's an additional 48 inches from the left side of the window to the end of the countertop overhang. That's what we're gonna submit. The ceiling height right now is 8 feet. In the kitchen, it's like probably 7.5 feet or maybe 7'4". We're gonna raise that up to the same height as the rest of the ceiling, and that's what we'll work with the kitchen design people. And we'll move the fridge to the back wall for the kitchen design as well. And instead of doing 2 built-in ovens, we'll just do a slide-in oven in the center. So in San Diego, with the housing crisis, additional dwelling units or like mother-in-law suites are really valuable improvements to make. We already have a really big bedroom with a full bathroom right next to it. So we figured it'd be a good idea to make that bedroom its own kind of second dwelling unit, like a mother-in-law suite. It's a little bit easier for us to create that kitchen in the bedroom along that wall because we have some of the utilities right here. We've got major electrical for a electric dryer, hot and cold water, and then we have the drain line too. So pretty easy to just tap into those utilities within the wall and then push them through the wall and further down. So along this wall, this is where we're gonna add the kitchenette. No major appliances. We're gonna do a full floor to ceiling pantry. We're gonna do a lot of countertop space, and under the countertop, we're gonna do a mini fridge. We're also gonna do a small sink, and we're also gonna do a stovetop, like a small 2-burner stovetop, something like you might see in like an RV, super small, just built into the countertop. But it's cool because it's a wide bedroom, so we don't really lose any valuable space when we put the countertop in and lose, 24 or so inches. And we still have a private the entrance and exit for this occupant through that sliding door that leads to the backyard.
Because
I just
like
think
here's
we
the
need
thing,
something up here.
but the thing is, people want sod. If they are gonna have sod, they want sod so their kids can play and their dogs to run. No one's gonna fucking let their dogs and kids run in the front yard.
Why not?
I just don't think so.
Not all of it is super steep though. And I don't mean everywhere, I just mean like getting rid of the concrete and from this line up to the house.
That's fine. I feel like that dollar amount of sod is gonna go further in the backyard than it is the front yard. We're essentially trying to figure out like, where do we put our money in the exterior, right? So one of the first things, like I said on the right-hand side with the vinyl fence trying to cover up the junk, the big perk about the front yard is just the view, but the view is obstructed, cars constantly coming through and you see the road. So my thought is if there's one thing that was super important to put money into is adding the vinyl fence in the front yard to cover the street. So when you look in the front yard, all you see are the hills. Dillon was talking about basically where to add sod in the front yard to make it like come together more. And we're just trying to figure out, do we add sod in just the front yard? Do we add sod in the front and the backyard, or just the backyard?
We're kind of dealing with how much people are going to care or not care about the road noise. If someone doesn't care about the road noise, then they would rather spend their time in the front where they have privacy and views. But if they do care about the road noise, it doesn't matter if we put grass in the front and develop this into a cool like lounge area, because the noise will be there and they'd rather be in the backyard, even though they wouldn't have the views and privacy. So we just don't want to invest in the wrong area, but we also don't want to invest in both sides because we have a tight budget.
I think backyard. I think people are gonna have the front yard for the views and the backyard is gonna be the backyard.
All right, what do you think?
I think the simpler we keep this one, the better. Definitely, if we're gonna invest in sod, I definitely think we flatten out from like where it starts to slope down. I would definitely say we put the sod on the back.
Yeah.
100%. No, it will be good. I think we just minimize our budget on the inside, scrape the hell out of the entire lot, and do the bare minimum. I think even just adding the privacy factor, I think this is gonna be a clean slate house no matter who buys it.
What's your bet for value?
800. What? I'm conservative. Are you at 850 still?
I'm at like 875, dude. 850. 865. That's my final guess.
I think 8 to 825 is where we should list it.
All right.
We'll see when it's done.
So my bet for sale price when we're all done with this is 865.
Say 825.
We'll
I hope you're right. It's just a lot of shit.
Yeah, it is.
Hope that we can keep the budget inside closer to 85 grand and not 100K. Outside, hope we can keep it under 15K after scraping it, the fencing.
My initial numbers before I saw it in person, but after we committed to buying it, was that we'd spend about $120,000 on the rehab, not including holding costs or financing costs, etc. And I thought it would be about 100 inside and 25 outside. It turns out the interior remodel is going to be quite easy, so we'll probably be at about $75,000 inside, but it's the additional rehab items that we didn't anticipate that are going to eat up the rest of the budget. So
like a brand new AC unit.
Yeah, we're gonna spend like $13,000 on a new AC unit because this house doesn't even have any central air at all. So we also have to run ducts into each bedroom and bathroom and kitchen and living room, and we have to do a furnace. So that was $13,000. It's a septic tank that we didn't get certified, so we're estimating about $7,500 in repairs and clearance there. And then the roof needs to be, we need a re-roof. So we're keeping the tile, luckily, but the felt underneath the tile and a lot of the plywood is gonna get replaced. So that eats up a lot of budget. It's always fun when we can remodel a house, put almost all of our budget just to cosmetic items, because those are the things that make a big impact for visual. But we have to fix these things, and unfortunately, buyers don't pay more because it has a new roof. They pay more because it has a new countertop. So regardless, we have to give a good product. So it means we gotta spend like $30,000 on stuff that nobody's really gonna even notice. So my final thoughts are that I'm really happy we bought it for only the list price of $550, and I think we have instant equity of maybe $50,000 to $75,000 to kind of give us cushion during the rehab to make up for the repairs that we didn't expect, like the AC that doesn't exist right now, so we have to add an AC. We have to re-roof the entire house, we have to do new windows, and we have to certify the septic tank, which is given to us without any inspections. We've got room in our budget to compensate for those things because we got a good deal when we bought it. My closing thoughts are that it's gonna be a dope house when it's done. I love the brick, and I love the architecture of the single-story open concept, and hopefully we can sell it for $865.